Hello, technical writers. This video is one in a series about researching your topic for your recommendation report. So I'm putting this video along with the others in the week 6 research videos. Okay, so this video is going to focus on Boolean logic. Have you heard of Boolean logic before? Well, B-O-O-L-E, Boole, is the last name of a guy who developed this algorithm for search engines to use. And it's called logic because that's what the algorithm uses. Anyone who ever even touches a computer needs to know a little bit about Boolean logic because you need to know how to search intelligently and get the best results that you can. So in this video, I'll just go over some basic Boolean logic terms, and I expect you to use all of these terms, or operators, as this handout calls it, in your research and on skill set 3. So you must use Boolean logic and demonstrate that on skill set 3. Okay, so the first three I'll teach you are and, or, and not. They seem like they're three conjunctions. That's how you know them, and they are. They're basically conjoining words or terms, except for not, which takes out a term. Let's start with and. So and basically just combines terms so that each result that you get when you do a search contains all of the terms that you've put on either side of and. So let's just do a quick demonstration using Google here. If I want to know about childhood obesity, and I want to know about both obesity and, let's say, anorexia, because I'm doing some research on body image for kids. So I'll put in childhood obesity and anorexia. And I'll do a search for that. So that means that all of my search results here, this one, this one, this one, all of them going all the way down, that those pages will contain both of these words, obesity and anorexia. If I wanted to also contain childhood, I'll put an and there as well. So that means all of these results will have all three words in them. So basically it's just acting as a conjunction between all of these words. None of these results won't have any of these words. All of these results will have all three of these words. Okay, but the next operator, or, does something different. What it does is that it combines the terms so that each result contains only one of the words or terms. So let's just say I'm going to do a search, but I want it to include childhood, right? So I want it to include either childhood and obesity or childhood and anorexia. So it will swap out either obesity or anorexia. Did I press return? That means that all of these results here, they will talk about childhood and either obesity or anorexia. It might include both, right? But it doesn't have to, and that's what I'm telling the search engine, right? I'm playing into its algorithm and telling them, hey, I don't need results that talk about both of them. It can talk about both of them, but it should really talk about one or the other thing, right? And we often do that for synonyms. So instead of obesity, we could write overweight. What's a synonym for obesity or overweight? How about obese? If we want to focus on teens, then we could say teen or childhood, and obesity or overweight or obese, right? So we're expanding our search in that way. We're giving the search engine lots of options of results to give us, and we can see the difference here in how many results we got. Okay, the next operator we're going to go over is not, and that means that it will exclude something, right? So this example says that we want to search for vegan, but we don't want information about vegetarians. So here, I might search for obesity and vegan, not vegetarian. Oh, and I could spell that right. Good thing about Google is that it will always tell me how to spell things. Okay. The other thing that you can do instead of not is put a minus sign. That does the exact same thing. So it means that I won't get results that have vegetarian in them. And we can see that we're getting vegan, 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 obese, obesity, vegan, 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 and nothing about vegetarian. That's great because I didn't want to know about vegetarian. I wanted to know about veganism. Okay, great. So pretty simple, right? I expect you guys to be using those three on this form here that you have to fill out. When you tell me what your keywords are, I want you to tell me what Boolean logic you used here just by writing in this cell right here exactly what you wrote in the search bar. That means that you can basically copy and paste this, right? So I could copy that and I could paste it in here. Does that make sense? All right, let's go back and take a look at this handout. It gives a little bit more of a breakdown here with more examples. All right, so there are some other Boolean logic terms that you should know. So for narrowing down your search, say you're getting too many entries, 12, oh wow, this is a lot of results. It's too many. I really need to put in more words here so that I don't have to go through so many results. You want to get as specific as you can if you're getting too many results. So how do we narrow it down? We can use quotes to designate an exact phrase. So you don't want to search for both fast and food. You want to search for fast food as a combination phrase, right? Genetically modified organism. So if we're researching GMO, we want to write it out. We don't want to search and get results that just have organism or modified or genetically or have these three words in different orders. We want it in this exact same order. So we use quote marks. The same here with junk food. It gives you some examples here. Fast food and school and lunch. So we want all three of these terms, but we want fast food to be together, right? We don't want lunch food to come up, for example. Okay, so another limiter you can use is, this is for the library database. You can broaden your search. So if you don't feel like you're getting enough useful sources, you can use some Boolean logic that broadens your search. For example, remember how I typed in obese and obesity? Well, I can just type in obese like this, use an asterisk like that, and it will automatically fill in the rest of the word for me. Nope, I don't want that because I want obesity to come up. Here we go. Okay, so it will add in obesity for me, and it will add in obese for me. There is an example on the other page, like I want to know about school lunch, or I could say school lunches, put an asterisk there, and subsidies. Subsidies are when the government subsidizes the school lunch. That means that they pay for kids to have school lunches. I know that seems like a no-brainer, but in the US, sometimes kids have to pay for their lunches. It's ridiculous. All right, so because I put subs here, that means that, not sub sandwiches, please. I guess, here we go. So it will come up with subsidy or subsidize or subsidized, right? So that's instead of subsidy, it's instead of subsidize, and it's instead of subsidized. Ooh, there's another one that came up. Did you guys see that? Subsidizer, right? So imagine having to type in all of those into your search bar right here. Well, you don't have to. You can just write the root, so the first part of it, and then put an asterisk right here, so that your results, your search engine, will fill in the rest for you. So if there's anything that is subsidized, or subsidizer, it will come up in the search results here. Okay, so that's called the use of truncation. We already talked about synonyms. It gives an example here. It says slaughterhouse or factory farm. Here it's using a synonym and it's using the quote marks. Right? So this person is searching intelligently rather than just all of these words by themselves. Okay. Sometimes you just have to do a search to figure out how experts are talking about your subject. So if I want to learn something about artificial sweetener, I have to see how experts refer to artificial sweeteners. Well, sometimes we just say aspartame when we're talking about artificial sweeteners. So you could put in artificial sweetener or aspartame, right? If you're not getting enough results, it might be because you're not using the right word. You're not using a word that experts are using. So you have to figure out what words are experts using, and then you have to put those in as variables into your search engine. Okay, and then at the bottom of this handout, there are some reminders. It tells you what to do and what to avoid down here. All right, so this is just basic Boolean logic for your Google searches that you're doing. I'd say that the most important thing to use are the quote marks and the and or. Right? Especially with the ors, you want to be able to put in the synonyms that you think might be used in the results that you want. Okay, so that's basic Boolean logic. Email with questions or a post in the forum, and get started Googling, doing some research just on Google. In the next video, we'll talk about using the library databases. Thank you very much.